to be looking this way at the camera. Donald Trump had a full-on nutter today. Grandpa Touchy. Okay, so let's do some background on this. So last Friday, Donald Trump met with Vladimir Putin in Alaska, and allegedly during that meeting, Vladimir Putin told Donald Trump a couple of things. First, Vladimir Putin, and TikTok, YouTube, this is for educational purposes only. I am quoting the President of the United States. Donald Trump said that Vladimir Putin told him that the 2020 election was stolen from him, which made Grandpa Touchy's mushroom-shaped little protuberance become turgid and engorged. So Donald Trump said that Vladimir Putin told Donald Trump that the 2020 election had been stolen from him, and that the 2020 election had been stolen from him with mail-in ballots. And so Donald Trump on Monday, I'm reading from a couple of paragraphs from The Guardian. Donald Trump on Monday announced that, okay, that's recording, that's good, announced that lawyers are drafting an executive order that he's going to sign to eliminate mail-in ballots, mail-in voting, days after Vladimir Putin told him that U.S. elections were rigged because of mail-in ballots. Which really just demonstrates how easy it is for Vladimir Putin to manipulate this gelatinous protuberance of a human being. Donald Trump said the following: "We are going to start with an executive order that's being written right now by the best lawyers in the country to end mail-in ballots because they're corrupt." That's exactly, that's analogous to Donald Trump saying he's fighting crime in Washington, D.C., when he was convicted of 34 felonies less than 15 months ago. But, whatever. At 7:15 this morning, he posted the following on Truth Social: "I am going to lead a movement to get rid of mail-in ballots," all caps, "and also, while we're at it, highly, quote, inaccurate, close quote, very expensive and seriously controversial voting machines," all caps, "which cost 10 times more than accurate and sophisticated watermark paper," I don't know what that is, "which is faster and leaves no doubt at the end of the evening as to who won and who lost the election." All of that was one sentence. Everything I just read was one sentence. "We are now the only country in the world that uses mail-in voting." That's false. "All others gave it up because of the massive voter fraud encountered." That's false. "We will begin this effort, which will be strongly opposed by the Democrats because they cheat at levels never seen before." That's false. "By signing an executive order to help bring honesty to the 2026 midterm elections." That's false. They're stealing and gerrymandering additional congressional districts nationwide. "Remember, the states are merely an agent for the federal government in counting and tabulating votes." That is false by law. That is false under the Constitution. "They must do what the federal government, as represented by the President of the United States, tells them for the good of the country to do." Nothing in that sentence is true. Literally nothing in that sentence is true. "With their horrible radical left policies like open borders," oh, Jesus Christ, "men playing in women's sports, transgender, and woke for everyone, so much more, Democrats are virtually unelectable without using this completely disproven mail-in scam." Oh my fucking God. "Elections can never be honest with mail-in ballots voting, and everybody, in particular the Democrats, knows this. I and the Republican Party will..." All of this is in all caps, by the way. "I and the Republican Party will fight like hell to bring honesty and integrity back to our elections. The mail-in ballot hoax, using voting machines that are a complete and total disaster, must end now," multiple exclamation points. "Remember, without fair and honest elections and strong and powerful borders, you don't even have a semblance of a country." Here we go. "Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America." The president of the United States has literally nothing to do with elections in this country. Elections, per the Constitution of the United States, are run by, administrated by the individual states. That's one of the foundational principles of federalism. The states run their own elections. The president has absolutely nothing to do with them, has nothing to say about them, and everything that he put in this Truth Social post, if that's going to be put into an executive order. Oh, we got 1,300 people on our YouTube live. Let me see if I can get this on the camera. I'm live on YouTube, right? Or no, I'm live on TikTok right now, filming myself make content for YouTube. It's like Inception going on over here. Donald Trump cannot legally do or say anything about how elections are run in the United States. There are statutes in each state governing their elections. The Constitution of the United States says that elections are run by the individual states. To a limited extent, the Congress can impose certain guidelines or restrictions on how the states do certain things relative to elections. The president has absolutely no power to say anything at all about how elections are run in the United States of America. I'm just looking at my TikTok live. They should really put a clock on your TikTok live so you can understand how long you've been live on TikTok. Because right now there's no feature like that on TikTok. Oh shit, there's 1,400 people watching this. Welcome everyone. You guys are just watching me film content for YouTube. I'm live on TikTok so that people on TikTok can watch me record this video for you. Getting rid of voting machines. The president has no power to do that whatsoever, not through an executive order. Well, let me rephrase that. There's no legal way that he can do that. Currently, we're operating with a Supreme Court that's just like, that's fine. And lets Donald Trump do whatever it is that he wants to do. I would imagine that they will probably do that same thing for him here. But as of right now, it is illegal for Donald Trump to get rid of mail-in voting. It is illegal for Donald Trump to get rid of voting machines. You combine this True Social post. I say that there's no legal way that he can do these things, but he's operating completely outside the bounds of the law right now. So when I first saw this Truth Social post this morning, I was like, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. Republicans nationwide are engaging in efforts to do a mid-decade round of gerrymandering, which has never happened in our country before, so that they can theoretically, they can gerrymander themselves enough seats so that they can steal the House of Representatives in the 2026 midterms, which they wouldn't have to do if the policies they were implementing and passing into law weren't so goddamn unpopular with 80% of the people who live in this country who plan on voting against them in November of 2026. I'm gravely concerned about Donald Trump's meddling in the 2026 midterms. I'm gravely concerned about congressional Republicans doing the same. I'm gravely concerned about Republican state legislatures and governors in red states doing the same thing. They're going to steal the House of Representatives in 2026. They're going to do that. It's just going to happen. Fortunately, as it relates to the Senate, you can't gerrymander an entire state. You can only gerrymander congressional districts. Senate races are statewide. There's nothing that Republicans or Donald Trump can do about that. And it's looking better and better every day that Democrats will be able to regain control of the United States Senate uh, in the 2026 midterms. And so they'll at least be able to shut down Donald Trump's judicial nominees for 2 years, I guess. And that's all we're going to get. That's all we're going to get in the midterms, guys. Sorry. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, because what's not to enjoy about, the doom and gloom of another Hawk video? If you enjoyed this video, please click like, leave a comment, even if it's a snotty one in which you clearly demonstrate that you have no control or concept of things like syntax and sentence structure and spelling, because that's how we spot Trump supporters in the comments on my videos. But please subscribe to my page. It is free to do so. And thank you for watching. And, I'll be here for the next however long until I get arrested, which Raven is concerned about. But, all right, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.